Hey YouTube, my name is Eve the Weed. Please like, share, and subscribe, honey, baby. This has been one heck of a news day. I know I ain't put out no videos. I just been sitting back and watching social media go into an uproar. And you see my guy right here, Kai Cenat. You see him, big Twitch, YouTube, yes, big Twitch, YouTuber, influencer personality. Kai Cenat was in the town today. He was in New York City in Union Square, baby. They tore Union Square apart. It was a whole bunch of melees. Union Square looked like, I don't even know what it looked like, y'all. And like y'all know, I'm in New York City. Union Square is in Manhattan. I'm in the Bronx. I heard the helicopters going down there to help because the cops found they needed backup to the backup to the backup, honey. And let me tell you something. He may not meant for this to happen. And anytime he have a giveaway, nothing like this has happened. But let me tell you this. I don't know what was going on in them kids' heads. It was so many kids down there. Them kids was catching panic attacks. All types of things was happening. So let me shoot over real quick to Lisa Everest and let her break it down for you. Shout out to Lisa Everest from Fox 5 News. That's my girl. Let her break it down for you, and then we're going to go into some scenes and everything that was going on and the mayhem, honey. It was a mayhem situation. Now, let's go to Lisa Everest real quick and let her break it down because she was on the scene. Even she said she had to get up against the wall from the stampeding that was going on, the fighting that was going on. Let me tell you right now, I'm warning you right now, if you don't want to see this video, please click off the video right now because it was a lot going on to the point where I'm in the city and I'm like, what the hell? I couldn't believe it. Like, everybody kept calling me, are you going down there? I'm not going down there. Is you crazy? Now, let me tell you something. When I seen it on social media and I thought about going down there to record it, you know, it would have been good content. But let me tell you something. My first mind is my best mind. Then my gut followed and I said, nope, not today. That's exactly what I said. I said, not today. And I'm happy that I chose to stay my behind home. Because what happens next in this video, y'all are going to be like, oh my God. Let's go to Lisa Everest real quick.
I wanted to give you an update on what happened in Union Square this afternoon. We got there after the melee had started. All of this disturbances had begun. And what police are telling us was there was an event with Kai Cenat, who is now in police custody. Charges are pending. A big streaming celebrity who's held these big mass giveaway events in other places, hasn't had any problems in the past. Well, today was very, very different. So he arrived at Union Square. He was supposed to give away laptops and also PlayStations and other electronics. Apparently that didn't happen. People were upset about it. And according to what NYPD Chief of Department Jeffrey Madry, who's been on the ground on a lot of things that have happened here in New York in recent years, he basically said that people started picking up construction material, paint cans, bricks, things of that nature, started throwing them at other people. Other people started setting off fireworks, which when you're in a super crowded area, and especially some of the fireworks can sound like gunshots. And this crowd basically was high school students, it looked like to me, and also middle school students. A lot of them were just, you know, school kids basically on a Friday afternoon, coming out to see what was going on, to check in with one of their favorite celebrities. But there were some serious disruptors, serious troublemakers in there, and police said that there were a lot of people hurt. There's at least 40 people now in custody. The charges are pending. They could even be charged with inciting to riot, because what would happen is they'd set off fireworks inside the park, inside Union Square Park, which there are trees in there in the center part of the park. People would hear the fireworks, they'd hear the explosions, which sounded very loud, were very loud, and then huge groups of them, sometimes hundreds at a time, would come running out of the park and start running up the streets. And, people were scrambling to get away. I was one of the people a couple of times had to scramble to get away and line up along the wall just until they passed. Now, I don't want to say that they were obviously going for their own safety, because when you hear gunshots, what are people going to do? They're going to run, and they're going to try to run away as fast and as far away as they possibly can. But what police are telling us now is there was a lot of violence that happened. There were police officers who were attacked. There was a bus that was trying to take people who were injured, not police officers, that some of the youth that were here who were injured, because there were so many of them, there were too many for ambulances. They were trying to take them away. They loaded them on some type of a bus, and then there were actually people from the crowd that were trying to get them and pull them off the bus and try to hurt them even more. They described people that were having, there were a lot of girls there too, that people were having panic attacks on the spot. They just didn't know what was going on because the crowd was so out of control. So there were a lot of things that were going on. A lot of things went wrong on it. Tremendous power of social media, obviously, being led to blame, whether there were no permits, there was no kind of setup in order to accommodate a crowd of that size. It was basically a pop-up event. And there were people that I talked with a group of guys of young teens from the Red Hook area. They were very respectful. They were talking with me, explaining to me what was going on, and they just come out for a good time. They just come out to see somebody that they really admire and somebody that they like, who's very popular, and just have a nice afternoon. But it turned into anything but that. And Chief Madry, who has seen a lot in his days at the NYPD, said that this was the most dangerous situation that they have. They don't know yet what the tally is of how many people were injured, the extent of the injuries, and we'll find out about that. We'll also find out if it was true that there were actually gunshots that were fired, which a couple of them sounded like that, but they could have been fireworks. But that's what we'll find out once they get to the bottom of it. And then there were small crowds that broke off from the main event at Union Square, and then started going up and roaming up some of the avenues into the side streets. So they were trying to deal with that, but a very dangerous situation. Hopefully will turn out there was no loss of life, but as we've seen in other incidents in other parts of the country where there's large crowds and there's stampedes, it's hard to know. It's hard to know if everybody made it out okay. So they're trying to figure out. We saw a lot of ambulances pulling people away, and just a horrible afternoon. Something that should have just been fun. It could have been easy. It could have been a nice break for the teens. Ended up turning into something very violent and very, very scary, I have to say, at certain times. So that's what's happening now. They say that there was a melee that started with throwing construction stuff. Then it got much more violent. Fireworks went off. We also don't know what else happened in terms of the physical violence that was taking place, but police are saying a lot of people hurt. They don't know yet. They have to obviously get all that information from EMS and the paramedics and the various hospitals, but just a sad situation. So there's about 40 people that are in custody at this time. I would expect that number is going to go up at least probably triple from what they were saying. And then one of the people that they are talking to, they did take into custody Kai Cenat himself. He hasn't been charged yet as of this time, like around 6:30 p.m. Eastern time on Friday. They're talking with him. They have the NYPD legal team there, trying to talk with them as well, and trying to figure out, really what happened, the chain of events and the timeline, because everything went out of control so fast. So very sad. I hope that there was no loss of life, which we don't know yet at this point. There were definitely police officers who were hurt in that as well. There were some that were trying to protect some of the people that were there, physically putting their bodies in the way. They got badly injured. So we're going to see what happened, but not a good afternoon and not a good evening here.
Shout out to Lisa Everest from Fox 5 News. I'm going to show you exactly what she was talking about, because at first the news media didn't even know if Kai Cenat had security. He had his own personal security. I seen them for myself, because I had to figure out who was security and who was NYPD. Now, his security was in all black, tall men. He had his own security. It got to the point where He got scared and couldn't even get out of the crowd. That's how bad it was. Let me show y'all exactly what I'm talking about. Now, these are his security guards. This is Union Square Park. He had 3 to 4 big security guards. Now look at them. The ones in the black t-shirts. The guy with the locks, the guy in the front, and the guy with the afro. Those are his security people, right? They're trying to guard him. It's to the point where he couldn't even get away from his own people. And this is a scary situation. And if you look at Kai's face, right? Look at his face. He's telling them, back off, back off, back off. And the people is like, keep coming, keep coming, keep coming, keep coming. This was a crowd that was very unruly. This was a crowd that he himself, he suspected. I know for a fact he did not expect all this to happen. This has never happened at any of his events. Now let's go to something else. This was the vehicle that Kai was in. See guys with the green shirts on? He was with them. They're all in the same vehicle. See the security guards again on the outside of the vehicle? Kai is in that vehicle, right? It's to the point where they couldn't even get away. But my thing is though, and this is why you gotta check the people that you with. And I say this with all respect. Why is your boy enticing the crowd by throwing champagne or whatever that is out of the car? Why is he spraying them with stuff? Why is his people, his own people, enticing the crowd? And y'all can say, oh Eve, how you know that they was all together? Because they was all, I seen them all together in a video before all of this even happened. Let's take a closer look. Y'all remember the bus that Lisa Evers was just talking about? This is the bus carrying the innocent people, trying to take them to the hospital. Notice it says it's out of service. Reason why it's out of service is because it's not a regular bus. It's a city bus. Yes, but in case of emergencies, they use these city buses. Just a couple of weeks ago, where there was a power outage in the Bronx, they used these city buses as a cooling center where people can get on there, and the buses was just sitting there waiting for people to get on so they can cool off from their situation from the power outage. Now, again, this is an emergency, so they're using the buses as transportation to transport these people to the hospital. There are too many people to be bringing in extra ambulance trucks. Ambulance can only fit 1 patient, 2 people at a time, and that's if they don't need a stretcher. You understand what I'm saying? Everybody know what an ambulance bus look like, or a van. It's the same thing. Plus the people that work in the ambulance got to get in there too. So my thing is, these buses were supposed to carry the people to the hospital. Many people, like Lisa Evers said, went to the hospital. Panic attacks, fainting, asthma attacks. They would, okay, let me get to the big issue. This is Union Square. Union Square, some of Union Square is under construction, right? With that being said, there's barricades all over the place. They tore up Union Square to the point where a guy found the fire extinguisher. You know they keep a fire extinguisher on every construction site in case something happened to break out. He found the fire extinguisher after they broke into the construction site, and he began to spray this fire extinguisher everywhere. So that means it's smoke and fog and everything everywhere, to the point where the cops can't really do their job the way they supposed to effectively, because it was so many kids. It outnumbered the cops to the point where I ain't never seen so many white shirts, and I'm talking about the cops, lieutenants, chiefs. I ain't never seen so many of them in one spot for one incident at the same time. And you can tell they all didn't come out of the same precinct because it's not that many in one precinct. These are multiple cops coming from every precinct that's in that area downtown. So let me tell you let's show you some more. Crazy. Mayhem. Now, this is Union Square. You see what they're doing? Look at him spraying it. They're gonna show him in a minute. Sephira's down here. All the big businesses is down here. Look at this mess that they made of this construction site. Now, he's still spraying. Now, you can tell that that's a news lady. She in the thick of it, which is crazy. This is why I didn't go down there. But look at how they tore it up. Look at the cops trying to cover themselves with the boards from the construction site because the people was throwing stuff at them. Look at this. They arrested so many people today and took them to whatever precinct they can take them to just to get them off the premises. It's crazy. Look at this. Look at this. Cops is trying to get out. They can't get out. This is bananas. I have never seen New York City in an uproar like this. And I've been living here all my life. Baby status. I ain't never seen New York City like this. This was pure mayhem. Let's keep going. Look at this. Look at this. Everybody pushing to record something. This is crazy. I ain't never seen this before. Look. And here's the thing about the giveaway. He was supposed to give away PlayStations. I heard it was like 300. I'm not sure on the actual amount. Don't quote me. I don't even care. He should have gave away those PlayStations on Twitch. Okay? Where it would have been a little bit more safer. I don't even think he thought that it was going to get this crazy. Okay? Because like I said, if you look at his face, he looks terrified. And I know for a fact that he is because he couldn't get out of his own crowd. And I'm going to show you that in a minute. But this gets crazier. Look at all the helicopters in the sky recording. All the news people is in the sky recording. I heard this all day today. Helicopters just flying, flying, flying. And I'm like, what is going on? And then somebody said, are you downtown? I said, no. They was like, well, don't go down there. Remember you said you was going to go down there for the giveaway? I was like, yeah. They was like, don't go. Because it's mayhem down here. We're trying to leave from down here. It was crazy. Let's keep going. Now, this is Kai. This is him being lifted up over the crowd because they couldn't get him out. They could not get him out, y'all. He was stuck in the middle of the chaos, y'all. The cops couldn't even get to him. That's how crazy it was. His security guards can only do but so much. And if the cops is outnumbered, you know damn well the security, that his own personal security was outnumbered. And I'm going to show you something else because his security and the cops got into a little bit of a shoving match. That's how crazy it was because his security is trying to get him away. And the cops is like, well, we need to take him. And his security was doing their job like, nah, bro, we're not having that. To the point where they got into a shoving match. Let's keep going. Now you see? Kai security in the black t-shirts. All black t-shirts. Those are his security people. He's in there. Look at him. Scared. Scared. He's scared. And he has every right to be. Look. It was a misunderstanding. Other cops had to intervene. The one with the glasses, the security guard with the glasses wasn't having it. I guess he felt like they was trying to mishandle him and pull him. But really, they trying to get him out too at the same time. Yeah, they had to arrest him because now he's being charged with inciting a riot, y'all. He's going to be charged on multiple accounts from this melee. It's going to be crazy. And if he gets out with no jail time, it's because he's going to have to give up a lot of money. Reason why I'm saying that is because it was a lot of cops that was injured. It was a lot of kids that was injured. It was people that had, New York City, they have their own Frank stands. They have their own newspaper stand still. It was an older guy from a newspaper stand. He was injured, trying to protect himself because he didn't know what was going on. The crowd came towards his stand. He didn't know what was happening. And they tore his stand up and him too. We're going to get to some more. Look at this. Look at this. This is crazy, y'all.
Acts of violence towards the police and the public. There was a construction site within the Union Square Park, and people broke into the park and they began to throw articles that belonged to the construction site: paint cans, bottles, rocks. You had people walking around with shovels, axes, some gaming systems. At approximately 3 p.m., the post went viral, and thousands of people began to arrive at Union Square. Soon the park and the surrounding streets were overrun with people. They were obstructing both vehicular and pedestrian traffic. The NYPD responded by calling a mobilization in response to the large crowd. As the crowd grew, so did our mobilization. The crowd was swarmed when the influencer finally arrived at the park.
And that's how I know that they was together. Because when they posted it, it went out just like that. Now, not only he was supposed to give out gaming consoles, he was supposed to give out gift cards as well. And in New York City, I know he's done this before, but it's summertime and all the kids is out of school in New York City until September, right? With that being said, it's Friday. It's Friday. Summertime in New York City. I just want to know what he thought was going to happen. Because he should have called the precinct to handle this a little bit better in a better orderly fashion. You understand? And with so many people injured, they were jumping on cars. They damaged so much property. It's crazy. Let me show you some more. Crazy. Couldn't be my car. Couldn't be my car. Couldn't be my car. And you better believe this man right here with this camera, he's some type of news crew. Look. They breaking up the car. All types of stuff. Jumping on it. It makes no sense. They need to find him and make him pay for the car. But let me show you something else. Because I was in the comments, right? You know me. I'm always in somebody's comments. Now, I'm in the comments, right? Underneath this very video. The guy says, "That's me." Then somebody else says, "Not cool. Messing up whoever's car that is." That type of energy comes right back around to you. Then the person says, "I didn't mess up the car. Other people was. I just got on it and started dancing." You are stomping the roof, young man, of the car. You are stomping the roof of the car. You are dancing on top of it, and actually, you are doing the most damage. You're doing the most damage. You got on top, and you were crushing the roof. The roof of the car, right? So I go deeper. In the comments, Somebody said, laughing out now. Not you snitching on yourself. Then he put the laughing emoji. We can't really see you jumping up and down. No, it says we can really see you jumping up and down on the roof trying to damage it. But I hear you, young boy. Just remember, all attention ain't good attention. True and heavy on that. That's what he said. Then another person said, you're a loser. I really don't know why your mama didn't swallow you. Lord Jesus. Then he put laughing, crying emojis. Then somebody else put laughing, crying emojis. Damn, Faith. That's what the person said. Right? You know me. I go a little bit deeper. Then somebody said, then ask your mama, are you proud? He was hyped to tell on himself. Young people be loud and wrong. Like young people, we can see you, and now everybody can see you exactly who you are, to include in the law. Shaking my head. This is vandalism, baby boy. And that it is. That it is. It's called vandalism. And you jumped in the comments just to let somebody know it was you. Now, I'm not going to say your name, but you didn't have to even jump in these comments because it's not even your video. This is not even your video. This is not even your video. But because you seen it going, online, and you seen what was going on, you had to let everybody know it was you. And that's the problem with y'all young people right now today. That's the problem with y'all right now today. And if the cops come a knocking at your door, I want you to let everybody know in your household, oh, it was me. Yeah. Don't hide. Don't hide. Because 9 out of 10 you live with your mama. We see you dancing on the car. All they got to do is zoom in, right? And then we have your face, dummy. And this man right here that's recording you, 9 out of 10, like I said, he's from a news crew. He's going to put it on social media, and it's going to be on the news, and they're going to zoom in, and they're going to get your face, and guess what? The owner of the car, right, is going to file a lawsuit. It's going to be so many lawsuits for vandalism coming left and right. And if Kai gets away with escaping jail time, he's going to have to pay the most heaviest fine we've ever witnessed. I'm telling you right now. Because it does not make no sense. You understand? And he didn't mean to cause this. I understand that. But like Lisa Everett said, there were no permits in place because he didn't think the crowd was going to get big. He never had to do all that. But this is one of those times I wish he would have gave it away on Twitch or on YouTube. This is a big YouTube and Twitch star. And I'm talking about, like I said, he got like 5 to 6 YouTube platinum ones. So he's big. You understand what I'm saying? And he goes viral all the time. We all sat back and watched him go viral when he hit his million on Twitch. Everybody congratulated him. His mother called his mother on Twitch. We all was there. But for this right here, this is about to be crazy. And I feel sorry for him. Because what he was trying to do was give back to his fans. And this right here happened. A lot of people come to certain places for the wrong intent. And they come to cause a melee. You understand what I'm saying? And that's why I was saying the guy that he was with, instead of trying to calm down the crowd, you enticing it by pouring liquor on the crowd. That didn't make it no better. Because all they did was take that and keep going with the hypeness of it all. All you did was hyper intense the situation even more. Let's keep going. Oh, there's more. Now, this is the scene when they finally got him into the police cruiser or whatever in front of Whole Foods downtown. You see his security guard is still with him. His security, let me tell you something about his security. Shout out to his security. I used to be security. Shout out to his security guards. They are the best. They stayed with him to the end. You understand? They went with him to the precinct and everything. They really did their job. They actually need bonuses. You understand what I'm saying? Because they really guarded him and they kept him safe. Without those security guards, I think this would have been totally left for him. Because he was scared of his own crowd. Look at them standing up on top of cars. Just on top of stuff. Anywhere they can stand, UPS trucks, anywhere they can climb to. I ain't never seen a bunch of climbing teens in my whole life. Look at this. Look at this. On top of his car. Remember the boys with the green shirts throwing the liquor out the car. Cal's in that car. Kai is in that car. They on top of the car. Teens are falling off left and right. My thing is with the teens though, yo, oh boy, I hate to say this, but it's like, why? You ain't have enough common sense to say, well, let me go home. Nobody had common sense to say, this is getting out of control. Nobody had common sense to say, let's not damage other people's property because we can get in trouble. First of all, there's too many cameras out there. Everybody's in trouble. Whoever damaged something, you're caught on camera. And let me tell you how technology works. Let me tell you how this works. Oh boy, I don't understand how y'all, everybody's in the technology, but nobody understands how camera phones work. A camera phone can work even if you don't press record or not. As long as your camera is functional on that phone, and as long as that phone is working and it has Wi-Fi and satellite, they can track your camera and zoom in anywhere. Your camera don't even have to be recording. I don't even understand why y'all doing this. This is crazy. This is madness. Like I said, he wasn't the only one that get locked up. A lot of big people that's like influencers in the world got locked up. Agent 00 also got arrested in the midst of the AMP New York City giveaway. It's crazy. Crazy. A lot of people got locked up. A lot of people. Duke Dennis also got arrested outside. He was out there. Let me tell you something. When the cops got to put on riot gear in the middle of downtown Manhattan, in the middle of the day, for young kids, never to expecting that they was going to be outnumbered by these young kids, it's bananas, okay? Like I said, even the chief of police got injured. Do you hear what I'm saying to you? Them white shirts was out there doing their job, and they even got injured. So let's listen to the chief of police as he runs down Cal's charges.
Like snacks, like little mini bodega kiosks, and his whole kiosk was ransacked. All the chips were broken and pulled apart. Things were taken off of it, and he was saying that he was injured because he was trying to stop the kids, and they hit his head, his neck, his back. The gentleman is in his 60s. He was talking to EMTs that were there and talking to the police that were there, giving them a report of what happened. But a totally just innocent victim in all this, that he was just doing his job, going about his day, and his business got ransacked there. But from where we are here, stop by and see a gentleman who runs one of those kiosks that you see him on the sidewalk all the time that have like.
I kind of feel sorry for him because he has a lot of money to be so young, and he has a lot of influence. Now, that word is heavy. You understand what I'm saying? Influence. Influence. Now, let me tell y'all this. You see how he was waving to the people like to stop them when I first started recording this video? He should have had a bullhorn. He should have been on top of the car where the guy was at, waving all those bottles and throwing all that liquor on people. He should have been on top of the car. And he should have been telling them to stop. Because he has influence. You understand what I'm saying? Maybe the kids would have listened to him a little bit. You understand what I'm saying? Before it would have got that heavy. You understand? I don't even think he got to give away anything because he got too out of hand. And they're going to use all of this against him. That's the sad part.
Come to the park. There was some posts also about giving away some gaming systems. At approximately 3 p.m., the post went viral, and thousands of people began to arrive at Union Square. To finally arrive at the park. Individuals in the park began to commit acts of violence towards the police and the public. There was a construction site within the Union Square. It was quickly determined that an influencer was posted on social media.
Look how the cops is looking, y'all. Look how the cops is looking, y'all. Look how the cops is looking, y'all. Look how the cops is looking at them. Look how the cops is looking at them. Meanwhile, in between while, there's a bus trying to get people to the hospital that they're stopping from going through the crowd because they wanted to dance in the crowd in the middle of the street. Throwing stuff at the cops. Just doing things they're not supposed to do. This was pure mayhem. And I feel sorry for him. But this is going to fall on him. He is about to take the biggest hit he ever thought. Look at the cops. Look how they looking. Look at them. Like these kids. Now look at the bus trying to get through. The bus trying to get through. Look at this. They partying and filming themselves. They think it's lit. They think it's lit. Look at the media out there. They got selfie sticks. They was out there. I'm so happy I didn't go out there for this, y'all. I don't know what to say about this whole situation. Like I said, I feel sorry for him because he's about to take the biggest hit. The same way he cried when he hit that 1 million subscriber mark on Twitch is the same way he's probably crying right now because they're probably letting him know what his charges is going to be. He can get 3 years in prison and better. He's definitely getting a fine. He's going to pay like he weigh. And being that they know how big he is, oh, that's times 2 now. You know how they do when they know how much money you making.
We do defend ourselves and we had to make arrests. We have encountered things like this before, but never to this level of dangerousness where young people would not listen to our commands. They were fighting each other, they were hurting each other, and they were turning our attacks on us. We had to defend ourselves and we had to make arrests.
Specific that you could be talking with?
Well, we'll discuss with our legal department about inciting a riot and other charges.
I'm wondering though if there's anything specific that you could be.
From their heads, bleeding from on their faces. I've seen I personally observed young people having panic attacks, anxiety attacks, asthma attacks. There was multiple, people were suffering out here. It was a lot of people. It was uncontrolled. It took us a while to get it under control, and a lot of young people got hurt. I personally observed young people walking out with their heads, bleeding from their heads, bleeding from officers were attacked. We were in there, we were crushed, we were pushed. I had officers on the floor. As you see, I'm a little embarrassed because I'm very dirty right here, but I was in the middle of the crowd. I was hit with multiple objects as well. I think I have a couple of injuries, but I'll figure that out once I have time to think about it.
But in terms of where the officers treated for injuries, as you know of?
Yeah, we had one or two officers removed, and we had officers out here. I had officers who got hit and were hurt, but they stayed, helped us to control this. Our officers were attacked. We did have members that sustained some injuries out here. At this time, we successfully dispersed the park. We still have crowds mulling around Manhattan, and we have officers following them, preventing them from destroying property, looting, and other things like that. And we'll continue to be out here, and we'll continue to disperse this crowd until they're all gone. We're using our drone technology to help us monitor the situation. Of course, our aviation unit is up there as well. All officers still being met with some resistance after numerous warnings, and we're still making some additional arrests. This mobilization is ongoing, and as I said before, we will be here until this crowd disperses. We did have members that sustained some injuries out here.
Let me tell y'all something. Baby, I feel sorry for Kyle. He shouldn't give away nothing else. He ain't gonna be able to give away nothing else. Especially if he gotta do some time behind bars behind this riot. And it's sad because he tried to go out there and do a good deed, and this is where a good deed has gone wrong. And for the cops to be hurt, for innocent bystanders to be hurt, for property to be damaged, for all the fighting and the looting, and it's crazy. All the hospitalizations, it's gonna be in the millions. I'm gonna tell you that right now. The damage is in the millions. Okay? And that construction site, when they get back there tomorrow, OMG. They might not even be back there tomorrow, because if they might not even be working downtown on the weekend. Some construction sites are a little bit different. They might have to bring them in because everything is everywhere, for they can assess their damages. Like the chief of police said, they had saws, they had shovels, they had everything from the construction site. They was carrying it, hitting stuff, damaging other property with their property. It's sad. It's very sad. I don't even know what else to say, YouTube. I just feel sorry for Kai. I really do. I do. Because this is where you think you're doing something good, and you doing something, for your people, and it just happens to go left. And at this time, it went all the way left. And the bad part about it is, when the smoke is all cleared, and after he do whatever time he got to do, if he do any time, hopefully he don't do no time, and he just get the heavy fine. You understand what I'm saying? And maybe do some community service. Because he was trying to do a good deed. Right? And because he did not know this crowd was going to get this big, because it went viral, hopefully he can just sit back and really think about doing, I bet you he's not doing another giveaway. He's not going to be able to do nothing like this ever again. For nobody, for no community. He's not going to be able to do it. You understand what I'm saying? Because now you're going to have people watching his page. We already got cops watching certain people's social media pages, rappers, this is that and the third. So they're going to be watching him heavy, especially if he don't do no jail time. I believe he shouldn't even do no jail time. Maybe a house arrest, maybe. Just stay in the house and be on Twitch, okay? Just stay in the house and be on Twitch and do your giveaways on Twitch and YouTube. That's it. Because if I'm him, I would just tell the judge, you ain't got to worry about me. You ain't got to worry about me, judge. I'm never doing another giveaway in the street pop-up ever again. Not a street pop-up. Unless I warn the cops in the location I'm gonna be in. But shout out to his security. Shout out to all the cops that were there that were injured but still stayed. Shout out to the chief for handling this to the best of his ability. Shout out to all the people that was out there that survived it, because it was, like I said, it was in the middle of the daytime, y'all, on a Friday. That's a busy area with just the working people and people, in that area, period. So could you imagine a crowd coming out of nowhere? It's sad. It was crazy. My name is Eve the Weave. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hit me in the comments, you